Oh my goodness. Who could it be, Tony?
What is going on?
Man, I tell you what, it has been so long since we have done this. This is like a family reunion type
I
deal.
know it. I know it.
I just don't really know what to do or what button to push or kind of even know what to do. But we're still in the same spots that we were 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I look completely different. You don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty much
Um,
the same.
But I tell you what, I got all my pink on right now for supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month because that's what October does, and we support our ladies.
That's right.
But we're gonna kick off this show. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go. Man, it is so good to be back
It is.
in the
Man, I've
Artemis
been missing
Overland
it.
studio.
Mm-hmm.
We're here. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've done this. Summer was amazing. We just had a great summer, just filled with lots of miles and lots of gas money.
Yeah.
And
Lots of
got
heat.
back and took several weeks off because of life change and different things. You started like a real job
Yeah. Yeah. I went
where
back
you
to the
have to go into
workplace.
the office.
Yep.
So after being on vacation for like 9 years, you finally went back to work.
Yeah.
And so that's been different for you, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Trying to get
Yeah.
used to a new schedule and
And
new
limited vacation time.
right, limited vacation time and having to wear pants.
Oh my gosh, long pants.
Long pants. I
Tony
haven't worn
wearing long
pants and
pants.
I don't know. I had to go buy some. Buy some
Well,
long pants for work.
we
Anyway.
had a lot of different life change things come up, so we took some time off. And it was funny because I guess it was around. It kind of happened to a lot of people because I know Kira took some time off. The Lady Overlander Radio took some time off. It's been just kind of dead in the water as far as podcasts go or live
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've been kind of itching to get back at it. And this past weekend at Rendezvous, I had several people come up to me, and I know you did as well, that said,
Yeah.
"Hey, are y'all still doing the show?"
Yeah. Several people ask about us and Lady Overlander Radio.
Yeah, I mean that's freaking awesome. I mean, when people come up to you and it's real encouraging and say, "Hey, are you still doing the show? Because we've been missing you."
Yeah.
We
Gen
miss you.
Xers Overland is one of those couples. They came up and it's
Yeah,
like, what is going
we
on with you
appreciate you.
guys?
Your encouragement is incredible.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
I don't know if you caught it right at the beginning, but I am wearing all pink because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I even got the blue line, which is not blue. The line is blue, but the rest is pink. It's all pink. And I
Yep.
got me a shirt made at your booth, Shop Overland Apparel booth. It's our Professor Bats and Friends shirt. I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah.
I wear a different size now, so I have to buy all new clothes. And so I was pretty excited about that. And then when everybody came up and said, "Oh man, are y'all still doing the show? We need y'all to do the show. We missed the show. What's going on with the show?" I'm like, I love.
It feels good to
Thank you,
it
Arla. Thank you,
feels
Arla,
really good to have the encouragement.
for recognizing that we need to save the Tatas. So
Yes.
Kayla Hubbard is on. So good to see the faces again on a Tuesday night. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And let me tell you, also, I lost all my social media, which was so depressing. And it was just crushing. Altogether, about 60,000 followers gone. But anyway, we're still here. Jared Cook is in the house. The bros are back. Yes, Shop Overland Apparel. Got my duds on, bruh. And if you need anything, you got your Switchback Outdoor Safety. I recognize that
That's
logo
right.
anywhere.
That's right.
If you need anything, if you need some Professor Bats and Friends, if you need any kind of anything, go to shopoverlandapparel.com and Jared will hook you up with some high quality H2O. No, he'll give you
Yes.
some high quality duds to put in there.
Yes.
JT's Rendezvous was awesome. We're going to talk about
Thanks
the
for watching.
Rendezvous because this is fresh on our mind. We just got back. Tony got back today.
Like
Took a
3
couple of days
hours
off.
ago.
3 hours ago. In fact, you probably didn't even knew we were doing the show because you had zero cell phone service.
No.
And I texted you, it didn't go through. So when you got cell phone service, you're like, oh, we're doing a show tonight. I don't get to go home and rest or unpack or wash my clothes or anything. I have to go home and do a show.
Nope.
So anyway, I appreciate everybody who's on here. Lady Overlander Radio is back next week, Wednesday at 7:30. I think that's what that says. No, that's 2 exclamation points. One is upside down. I don't know what that means or what time that is, but it'll be 7-ish.
Put an exclamation mark upside down.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. I don't think I have that on my keyboard. That's amazing. But here we are. We are kicking off season 5. Wow. Can you imagine? Can you believe this? It's been almost 2 years since I started this show and been doing the Overland Philosopher podcast. Season 5. This season, it's going to be a little different. I want to change things up a little bit. Instead of getting a lot of guests like we have done the past couple seasons or the past few months, I want to talk about different topics based on different things that we have to deal with outdoors or outdoorsy or overlanding, camping, whatever we do outdoors. And we're going to pick those topics. Now, we may have people come on that we consider to be experts that will talk about those topics. But as far as getting people to come on and just talking about their life, we're going to kind of, unless it's somebody like huge, if Clay wants to come on, we're going to get him on.
Yeah, sure.
Or somebody like that, we're going to get them on. And, he's calling me every day wanting to get on the show. So I'm just having to put him off. I mean, he's in freaking Norway right now. So
yeah,
I'm not about that.
No,
so
it wouldn't be good to have him on from Norway. Signal, audio probably would be good.
Yeah, so anyway, so we're going to be talking about helpful topics. Maybe you can get something out of it. Maybe we can get something out of it. And that's what I really like to do, is talk about things that I can learn from as well. And so anyway, I hope that makes sense about what we're going to try to do with this season. And anyway, I think it'll be fun.
Yes, I do too.
I think
I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited to be back on.
Me too. And plus I get to see your face.
That's right.
Yeah. I get to see your face. I love it. Well, hey, we're going to take just a second and do our sponsor spotlight. Here we go.
It's now time for the sponsor spotlight, talking about all the products, services, events, and businesses that we use and love. Here we go.
So this week, our sponsor spotlight goes to Artemis Overland Hardware. And the reason is because we got to camp out at his booth at Rendezvous. We had such a great time. It was like the happening place, and I loved it. But not only that, but Artemis has a brand spanking new showroom in Springfield, and I am so excited. Artemis has been serving the overland and adventure community for 6 years. They have one of the largest selections of overlanding products. It is Shopify's top 1% of growth brands and sells both online and at their showroom in Springfield, Missouri. Their brand new showroom is at 1637 East Olive Street. So he has moved. It's pretty much in the same area, but I talked to Aaron today. They're moving like one load at a time. They're not killing themselves. He has a real nice showroom. He wants it to be really, really nice. The old place, if you've been there, which most people have, was an old rundown building, didn't have heat or air, and the doors were always open, and it was just stuff everywhere. So he's really trying to make it more friendly for people and He's got a big showroom, indoor shop for installs, heated and cooled. It's gated. It's really, really nice. So I'm excited about that. And he said that we're going to try to plan something. I know we're doing a big Toys for Tots thing in December like we did last year. So we're going to bring some toys up there, have a big sale at the showroom. We're also going to do some kind of a Thanksgiving thing toward the end of November. So that ought to be pretty fun. So anyway, plan on going up there and seeing the new place. Like I said, 1637 East Olive Street. And if you look on their website, it is updated, but it's probably not on Google yet. So if you Google where it's at, it's different.
Did I hear that the first Rigs and Coffee at his new place was going to be December 3rd?
I believe that is correct. And that's going to be the day we do the Toys for Tots as well. So we're going to try to plan a big day that day, maybe have a trail ride, do a trail cleanup or something like that, a dinner afterwards. So we're going to try to make a pretty good day of it. So that's going to be really fun. A lot like the very first one that we did. So I'm really excited about that. So anyway, put that on your calendar, December 3rd, first Rigs and Coffee at Artemis Overland Harbor. Boom, shakalaka. Man, so Rendezvous this year was a little bit different. Rendezvous, if you don't know, we can tell you a little bit about the history. Rendezvous is put on by Natural State Overland. Oh my gosh, look who is in the house. Mason Berry, I've got your breast cancer awareness hat on right now.
Man, we miss you, Mason.
Miss you, buddy.
Yes.
Rendezvous is put on by Natural State Overland, naturalstateoverland.org if you want to find more information about it. 2022, I believe, was the 6th year. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay. 6th year. 620 Guns and Ammo is in the house.
Chad. Hey, buddy.
What's going on? Jason Adams is in the house. Appreciate you joining us. If you own a 4x4, this says it on their website. So just a little bit about the Rendezvous in the Ozarks. It says, if you own a 4x4 vehicle and enjoy the overlanding lifestyle, or you just want to learn more about this fast-growing passion, you're invited to join Natural State Overland at Mulberry Mountain Lodge. And that's where it was held. This year, it was, for the past 4 or 5 years, it has been held at Birds Adventure Center. And the very first one was held at Mulberry Mountain. Now, there's a lot going on with this. They have vendors, they have trail rides, they have classes, they have music, hanging out. Last year, over 680 rigs from 27 states. So that's pretty cool. 35 vendor booths and 20 different product demos, trip reports, and presentations. They have classes all over the place. It's a really big type of deal. So
kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal, kind of like Tony. And so it's pretty fun to be there. Now, I'll talk about my experience with it here in just a little bit, but we'll kind of want to go through what it takes to go to an event like this, because you and I both were in vendor booths.
Yeah.
I have never been to the Rendezvous as just a regular attendee. I've been in a vendor booth every single year. The first couple of years, I didn't even get to leave the booth. It was just because of the weather or something like that. We were just confined to where we were. Everybody showed up at once. Last year, it rained the whole time, and then it was beautiful on Saturday. So Saturday, we were just hammered. And Friday night, we were hammered with straight line winds that blew my awning smooth off my FJ.
Yeah.
And so you just never know what you're going to deal with. So having it at a new place this year was kind of fresh. It was really nice. Last year, they had a big mud pit down at the where everybody was camped. So that was not very good. Everybody didn't like that. Everybody was kind of complaining about that. But to get ready to go, was there anything that you had to do special to get ready to attend Rendezvous this year, just to get ready to go?
Well, I mean, for all of us to go, we got to pack the truck and the trailer.
Okay, you said all of us. Who all came with you?
Well, me and Arla, my wife, and our daughter and her boyfriend, Shane.
Okay, so you're toting boyfriends around now.
Yeah, we did that.
You've reached that stage of life, have you?
We have. Yeah, we have.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
I have reached
He's a
that
good
stage,
kid.
graduated, and move on. So
Yeah.
I've been there.
You've been there, did
I'll
that?
pray for you.
So yeah, we had really it's not much different other than we had to sort of figure out where Shane was going to be sleeping. So we got him a separate tent under our awning.
Okay.
Worked out real good. He loved it. He was telling me today when I got home that he appreciated having that and had a great time. It was his first event. Good. He had a great time. So
good. Well, he seemed like a good kid. Very well behaved. He was everywhere. They would go off and come back, go off and come back. And, the adventure seekers that they are, the wanderers. Yeah. And so I can understand when you're packing for 2 teenage kids and your wife, especially when you have a small tent that not everybody can fit in, you've got to plan for multiple areas.
Multiple sleeping arrangements. Yep.
So you brought your trailer because that's how the people slept. That's how the other people slept. And then you did the awning around with the walls and had a thing set up in there for him to sleep. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for your help with the walls, by the way.
Oh, shoot. That was a chore.
Oh, I got your hammer.
Oh.
You left your hammer with me.
Oh.
The one to pull the stakes up with?
I love that hammer.
Yes, it's very nice.
Well, I'm glad you got it because I had no idea. I forgot I left it with you. Well, I was going early because I just really needed to get away from work. And I wanted to take off a day early, go up Wednesday, get there before anybody else got there. And so we work, a huge supporter of Natural State Overland. So they are very lenient with us and let us show up whenever we want and do whatever pretty much we want. And Rick and Randy have always been very good to us that way. And so I was supposed to go to Bad Ack Adventures in Tulsa and pick up one of their new trailers. And let me tell you, they've got some new trailers coming out. They're going to blow your mind. You'll be able to pull one of these trailers with a freaking Subaru if you want to.
Or a 2-door JL.
Or a 2-door Jeep. And you can sleep inside of it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was going to go pick up one of these, but they weren't ready. So I called Aaron and I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to pick up this trailer. Do you want me to carry my trailer? It'll give us the big awning, some shade, show off the tent and the setup and all that. And he said, sure, bring it up. So I have not pulled my trailer since you and I went to Big Bend, Texas over New Year's. I haven't hooked up to it at all. It's been sitting in the garage. So I had to unload everything, load everything, figure out what I needed, what I wanted to take. Of course, I wanted to take my scuttle to cook. I had to throw that in there. And so I was really needing to get all that set up. And so I got all that set up and was able to take the trailer. Oh, Lord. People are passing you stuff, and that makes me happy.
I got something. I wanted to give something to Rick. Holy cow. My buddy Chad he did a ton of trail riding, and his goal whenever I left there, last time I talked to him about this trail riding, he wanted to reach 200 miles.
It looks like he reached 300.
It looks like he blew that goal out of the water.
300 miles of trail while you're there. That's pretty impressive, Chad.
No, I wanted to sort of do a little bit of a give back kind of thing, and time slipped away from me on Saturday, but we'll do it. We'll do it tonight or our next show. But I've got some OnX stuff I want to give away.
Yeah.
Some premium memberships and a couple hats. So
awesome. Sounds good. Chris Marlin's in the house.
Hey, Chris.
Chris did a lot of cooking this weekend.
He did.
We appreciate you doing that. But this year they had moved from Birds Adventure Center, which had been every year except the first year, to Mulberry Mountain. And Mulberry Mountain Lodge is a massive place. I didn't realize how big this was. Now, we had went down there and camped for the bonfire in the spring, just to give everybody a little taste of how different it was going to be. But we camped in a different spot. down in the valley. So we really didn't stay up on the hill, and I really didn't get a good feel about how huge this place was. But this place is 650 acres,
Yeah.
70 electric sites, primitive wood camping area. They've got off-road trails. It borders the Ozark National Forest, restrooms, 4 large fishing ponds. I don't even know where those are. I didn't see those. Hiking trails. They have a convention center, reception hall, amphitheater that overlooks the Ozarks, and a disc golf course, which I didn't see as well.
Oh, I didn't know they had the disc golf course.
It's there. I didn't have any idea. But I went to there on Wednesday. I got there a little bit sooner than what I thought. Pulled off at Ozark to get fuel, and then the thunderstorm just let the hammer down.
Yeah.
And so I sat underneath there getting gas, and a couple other guys pulled up that I met on social media, and so we just talked, sat under there and talked while the rains came down, the floods came up, and so it was fun. And but then when the skies cleared, I went on up, and I was the very first person to pull into the vendor area on Wednesday morning. And I pulled up, and they were marking off the stuff for the campsites up there at the very beginning on the left when you pull in. Got out, talked to those guys. They were in super good spirits, having a great time out there, just giving each other heck like they always do, And it was just pretty fun. So they told me what site that we were going to be in. I went down there and I found it because they had marked them really well on the ground. And by 11 o'clock, I started setting up, and I was the only one there. And I took my time. It was a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
After it rained. It was a super gorgeous day. The wind was blowing just a little bit. It wasn't very hot. And I just took my time. I set a few things up. Then I made me some lunch, and I sat down and ate. And then I set a few more things up, and then just sat down and read a little bit of my book. And
Did you take a nap?
I didn't take a nap. I'm not a big nap guy.
Not a napper?
It's hard to
Not
sleep when the sun's up. But anyway. Brian Edwards in the house. What's up, buddy? Jason Adams, thanks for the shrimp boil Friday. Tony did the shrimp boil on Friday.
Yes,
that was pretty cool.
That was so much fun.
Okay, Jason says southwest corner of the property had disc and pond, so that was down there over
up by the road, but on the
southwest. Over there by where the helicopters had to land. On Sunday morning.
Man, if anybody has an update on those people. I sure hope they're doing all right.
Praying for them.
I guess I heard I had a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Or something. So hopefully they're okay.
Motorcycle accident, a man and a rider. They both went down, brought in 2 helicopters. And from what I could see, the helicopters went different directions. So I don't know if they were going to the same hospital or because so much trauma, they had to take them to 2 different places. But anyway, if you're out there and listening, which is a very slim chance, we're praying for you. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Oh, Tate Davis is in the house over in Spices. Did a wonderful, wonderful job as always with the cooking competition that he had. I didn't enter it this time. I wanted to give other people a chance. But I did see that the same guy who flew his meal in with the drone at Big Iron did the same exact thing, trying to impress everybody. It's not impressive. Your food is what's impressive.
Right.
But we didn't stay for who won, so I don't know who won. Maybe Tate can tell us who was the winners, and we could go live with that.
Yep.
But anyway, I had to go over there and buy some spices. I was almost out, and then the jalapeno sauce stuff. Oh my gosh.
Is that good?
So good. I know you had a blast, Tate. It was really good to see you. Really good to see you. But later in the afternoon, it was people started rolling in just a little bit at a time. Now, what time did you get there?
I think it was like 6:37, somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was around 6. It was probably about an hour before dark. David Reasoner won it all. He was the reserve grand champion at Big Iron. So at Big Iron, he came in second, and he stepped his game up on this one. I think that's what reserve grand champion is, right? Came in second. Isn't that right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
all these fancy words are throwing us off, Tate. But
Reserve grand
David
champion. It's
Friesen,
kind of like a big deal.
congratulations. That's awesome to win a competition like that. Yeah, Tate says that's correct. So he came in second overall at Big Iron, stepped his game up, and this year he won it all. So that's pretty cool. Congratulations, David. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember you rolling in because I was sitting there just taking it all in, watching a few of the rigs come in, and I looked across the way and I saw this ginormous Dodge truck with this big old tent thing on it. And I got to look and I said, I think that's Kelly. Kelly from Cottywampel Overland was over there, and we had spent a lot of time with him at Moore. You camped with him in June, and I wanted to go over there and say hey to him because I'd been there all by myself all day. And so I went over there and say hey to Kelly, and we were just over there just talking about this and that and this and that. And next thing I know, I'm getting a text from Misty saying, hey, where do we set up? And I looked over there, and y'all were over there. So
yes,
that was pretty cool. So perfect timing.
I wasn't supposed to be there till Thursday morning, but I couldn't stand it. I knew you were there and other people was there. and Arla was traveling for work, and I was like, hon, I'm sorry, but I'm going to see you in the morning.
I'll meet you there. I'll just meet you there. That's the way it goes.
I had to go see my bro.
Yeah. Kyle says, had a great time. Year 2 for me. Not the only Gen 6 Bronco this time. Gen 6 Broncos. Man, look at there. I saw a few Broncos this year. That's pretty cool. Well, I appreciate you being on, Kyle. And I live in Conway, so I like your last name. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Thanks for watching, Kyle.
You know what I love about, especially this year? Now, every year, the guys from Natural State are very lenient. They want everybody to have the best possible experience that they can.
Yep.
And so I love how they were keeping a handle on things. They knew when people were coming and going. They put people in the right spot, but they were being very lenient with where people stayed and how they set up. Yeah, they had lines drawn on the ground where the booth would be, try to keep it in this, try not to infringe on other people's, but they were open to letting us stay outside that realm because we had so much room behind us. And so you were able to camp behind our booth. And Misty and Arla, when she came in, Kelly from Cottywampel came over there with the Skinny Guy Campers people because, somebody, when you got there, somebody was in your campsite that you had reserved.
Right.
And so you couldn't get over there.
We were there with Shop Overland Apparel, and they also had a campsite. But when I got there, like you said, there was a big old RV in our site. So,
yeah. And I thought, goodness gracious, well, what are we going to do now? Well, that ended up working out so nice because we actually had electricity there right behind where I parked, and you were able to pull up right behind me, put the trailer right there. Misty and Joe parked right beside us. Then Kelly came over there, and it ended up being so nice. It was much more like being at camp than it was being at a event.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that because we weren't all spread out, and we didn't have to get up each morning and walk to where we were going to be at the booth. So I really, really like that. And I really appreciate Rick and Randy for doing that for us. It was a very cool experience for us to create a campsite, a family atmosphere where everybody could hang out and get that true overland experience, even though we were at an event. So I really enjoyed that. It didn't work out quite how I had pictured it, but it was actually even better. What do you think?
Yeah, it was better.
I really couldn't have been any better for me because, Aaron posted on his Instagram today a little video of walking through Saturday night, and there were like 3 or 4 different groups of people hanging out at fires or whatever, just having a big time. It was just like campsite. It was just like being at a campsite. It was cool.
It really there was kind of one big thing that was missing though, Joey.
What's that?
Campfires.
Well,
like firewood campfires.
Yeah, and Chris from More Expo, who also sponsors the show, he actually was providing all of the wood for everybody like he did last year, but we didn't get to use any of it because we were in a burn ban. And fortunately for us, you had brought a gigantic propane fire pit that was amazing because it was pretty cold.
Yeah. That first night was nice to have. this was really the first time I got to use the MC Ranch Overland, the original fire reflector.
Mm-hmm.
Got to really put it to use since the spring, I guess. So that made it nice too.
It really did. Brightened everything up, and it really concentrated the fire where we could stay warm. So I was pretty excited about being able to have that set up.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed this year? Several different things about us having that this year was the vendor area was massive. It just seemed like it was 3 times as big as it was last year.
Yeah.
I guess just because the field that we were in was so big, and they had everybody on the outside, and they had the place where they had the cooking competition was in the center. The kids were able to play in the center. There was a lot of people throwing footballs, baseballs. They were doing all kinds of things in the center of the field, which that was really nice. People were able to ride bicycles without worrying about running over somebody. There were several people that had the e-bikes or e-motorcycles or whatever they're called. Matt McClellan had this one-wheel thing,
Uni-wheel
and
or
he
something.
was riding it everywhere. And let me tell you, okay, Matt, I'm fixing to rat you out. I was coming through Conway today in the center of town, and I meet this crazy person on this one-wheeled thing, and it's Matt. He was on like a 12-mile ride on this thing going through the center of town, and he just stopped right in the middle of the road, and I just talked to him in the middle of the road. That was cool. So anyway, that was fun. But Matt, that's pretty awesome that thing will last that long, and that you don't fall off and kill yourself. That's pretty good. Nathan Anderson, the photographer for Rendezvous, is in the house. Nathan Anderson Photography. Make sure and
Hey,
give him a
buddy.
follow.
He must have had like 1,000,000 steps in. Every time I was asking him, how many steps, he was like, 10,000 already.
Yeah, and that was like 9
10,000.
o'clock in the morning every morning. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see the pictures, because like last year when it was raining every day, I don't know how that. I'm not a photographer, so I don't know. But this year, every day the sun was just outrageous. It was just beautiful during the day. The wind does not affect the pictures, so
No.
it was only windy. But I cannot wait to see the pictures, how they turned
Yep.
out.
Yep.
The nights were incredible. We were able to see the Milky Way, even with all of the lights in camp. I
Yeah.
thought that was just super cool. But I loved how the vendor area was spread out. I loved how the camping, there were so many spots to camp. It didn't seem like we were cramped at all.
Mm-mm.
And, last year at Birds, everybody talked about how people were just piled on top of each other, on top of each other. And of course, I haven't camped in the regular camping area, but I did hang out with Jeff with Badak down in his campsite, and they were just spread out like crazy. So
Yeah.
it really didn't seem like that.
Right.
Were you able to go around to any of the campsites and see all the camps and how everybody was set up? Now I know you did go over to the where the campers were because y'all ate over there.
Yeah. Yeah. We went over to Amy and Chris Marler's camper and had some dinners over there. But other than that, we pretty well stayed at the booth at our camp. And I mean, it was just so much going on and so many people to visit with. It was crazy.
Yeah. Nathan, how many pictures did you take? That's all I want to know. I want to know a total number.
1,400.
I think it'll blow everybody's mind.
I'm going to guess 1,400.
1,400. I'm going to guess 2,100.
21.
I'm going to guess 2,100. That's my guess. So, Nathan, if you'll divulge that information, we appreciate you. It didn't really seem like there was as many people there. Oh, he said higher.
Ooh, higher.
Really?
3,800.
Wow. Oh my gosh, my best friend in the world, Jeff Kubiak. Badak Adventure Co. was in the house.
Hey, buddy.
Great to hang out by the fire. Jeff actually had one of the forest rangers come and visit his campsite because they thought he was actually had a wood fire. But he had the Badakalo fire pit, and then he had like some real looking logs with some propane coming up there, and it really did look like a real fire. So Nathan
Nice.
said lower on the 3,800, so I'm
Okay.
maybe 2,600, maybe something like that. It had to be a lot. It had to be a
Yeah.
lot.
It was a
But it
bunch.
didn't seem like there was as many people there as there was last year. Maybe it was because we were spread out. He said about 2,800. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome. 2,800 photos. That's incredible for a 3-day event.
So does he have to work out to do that to stay in shape? Like,
I think that's how he flexes. Yeah,
yeah,
he'll flex just
he
like
has
that.
to
That's how he
does that.
flexes. Yeah, yeah. So
Anyway. that I can't. I tell you, I'm really excited for Jeff. That new trailer that he's got coming out, that light one. That
yeah, it's
I'm,
going to blow your mind. And
I want to see
what
that.
I love about it is it looks a lot like his regular trailer. So he still kept the concept of what the Badack Adventure Co. trailer looks like, and but they did so many things to shave down the weight. It's going to be right at 600 pounds
Yeah,
on a trailer that you can sleep
unbelievable,
inside of. Okay,
unbelievable.
trailer you could sleep inside of. I wouldn't even know that's back there. I mean, that's
Mm-mm,
nothing.
mm-mm.
Yeah, I think my axle on my trailer weighs that much. Um, Jeff said the doors should be in tomorrow, so he will actually have some trailers that he'll be able to photograph and put on the website so we all can see.
Nice.
And Arla said, "Holy cow, that's light." That's right.
Yes.
I
Yes.
could probably pull that with my bicycle. It's going
Right.
to be amazing. So it will not affect your gas mileage whatsoever, but you can sleep inside of this, set up a base camp just like regular. That is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people when we go to these things, they all talk about the weather. Now, I don't know if you all realize this, but we are overlanders that sleep outside. And I don't know if you also know this, but every day, 365 days a year, there's weather.
Yep. And it changes every day.
There's always weather. It changes. There's always going to be weather. As soon as you prepared for one thing, life is going to throw you a curveball. So Wednesday night, the wind. Oh my gosh. So I after last year, I don't trust anything. So I double staked, triple staked all the awnings down, but I still do not trust the stakes or the ropes or anything. So Wednesday night when the wind was blowing, I was like, every time a big gust would come up, I'd look out my window. I'd
Yeah.
raise my window, look out there to make sure everything was still there and not flopped up over my tent or blowed off somewhere.
Yep.
But you know what? After that night, 40 mile per hour gust, easy. If it could withstand that, I slept like a baby the rest of the time. I did. I wasn't worried about it because if it could stand up under that and the stakes would hold it up under that wind, I wasn't worried.
Right.
I wasn't worried a bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't worried a bit. Now it was cold that night. You got out the fire pit with the fire reflector and all that. And it was a little bit windy, but it was a beautiful night. I would rate the days about a 7.5, 8 out of 10 because there was a little bit of wind, but it was cool. It wasn't hot. It was beautiful. The sun was just bright and beautiful. My ears got sunburned a little bit, but that's about it. But you know what? The wind also keeps the bugs off of you. So
Yeah, it does.
anyway, there we go.
Sure does.
And there was just so much to do. The vendors, so many vendors were there. But you know what? We've reached about halfway through, and we're going to talk about the vendors right when we talk about our sponsors. We'll be right back. Here we go.
You're watching Professor Bats and Friends, sponsored by Artemis Overland Hardware, Timbo Tusk, Lifesaver Water Filters, Trail Rated Coffee, More Expo, Linson Solar, Big Iron Overland Rally, Tacform Mounts, Midland Radios, EcoFlow, MC Ranch Overland, Snowmaster Fridges, Mountain Hatch, Dow Dynamics Lighting, and a partnership with Natural State Overland. And always supporting our good friends at Oscar Mike and Blue Line Overland. Thank you for watching the show. Here we go.
Yes.
Go!
Here we go.
And I have redone all of the videos for season 5. Last
You did a
night.
good
I
job.
was working till midnight, like I have done every night, but this week. The vendors. Oh my gosh. I was actually able to get on Matt's e-bike and ride around to all the vendors this year. I was so excited to be able to do that. CB Adventure Supply always comes and supports. It was great to see Ryan and Libby Hitchcock there. They got some of the coolest rigs I've ever seen. The Forerunner that matches the turtleback and that uh, Tacoma with the Alu cab on there. I swear they got the nice stuff. Midland
Yeah.
Radio, 7P Overland, official training sponsor. Backwoods Adventure Mods. They bring some of the coolest stuff. Mo and Mariah, some of my best friends in the whole world, were there showing off their. Mo works there now, so it was good to see them. Extrusion Overland got some coolest racks I've ever seen. Artemis, of course, that's where we were. The Overland Essentials was over there. Cali Raised LED. Those were some of the nicest guys I've ever talked to. They were right next door to us. Out of
I
the
know. Did you see their racks got blown over that first night?
in the Wednesday night, they showed up pretty close after I had got some of my stuff set up on Wednesday, and I kept hearing all this noise and racket on Wednesday night, which I thought was my awnings. And we get up the next morning, and everything that they had put out got blown over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they stayed up in one of the lodges, so they had no idea. They showed up the next day and thought somebody had punked them.
Oh, really?
So, it was pretty funny talking
Yeah,
to them
like
the next morning.
no punk. There was no punk.
No punk. Rough Country was there. Rustic Mount Overland, Mid America RV Shop Overland Apparel was there. That's the one you were working in.
Yep.
Making all the gear and let's see,
All
y'all
tees.
T-shirts.
Yes.
Pretty much for everything. Bundu Tech was over there. Those are some of the weirdest looking tents I've ever seen, but they're cool. They're like electric. Do you know that? They're electric.
Are they?
Yeah,
Really?
and it has a little bitty awning that goes all the way around, but you hit this button and they go, and it goes up. It's cool. Anyway, and you bring it down the same way.
I didn't get to spend much time going around.
Go Treads was there. They were making special Go Treads. I know they made some Lady Overlander radio
Yep.
and some Toyota. What's the ladies of Toyota?
Lady
So
Overlanders.
they were putting together and putting all kinds of cool colors together. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we got a couple of sets.
Yeah, you did.
We
More
should-
Expo, which was the firewood sponsor, but nobody could use the firewood. TC Trirops, Livson Designs was there, selling their clothes, the Kuat racks, which are the bicycle racks. I have one. They're amazing. Glade Top Adventures, Open Road Campers, Switchback Outdoor Safety. Aaron was there teaching classes on safety. And, he just got back from Alaska. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I just I got my first I guess pack. I got ordered a chest pack from him that's got all the first aid stuff in it and all that. So I'm looking forward to that coming in.
Yeah, I have my chest pack packed and ready for my big backpacking trip this weekend. So pretty
You've
pumped
got a
about having.
backpacking trip this weekend.
I'll talk about that here in a little bit.
You ain't told me.
Yeah. Porker, all the way from West Virginia. How did the new mattress sleep, T?
Oh, like a dream.
Like a dream.
I love that thing.
Ah.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. I wanted one of their tents after I had to pack up in the mud.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's no good.
Yeah, that's not good. So let's see. Overland Attic, Baddock Adventure Co. Some of my best friends in the world, Jeff and his crew, were there showing off their trailers. Everest Conversions, Tracer Customs, Outback RV of Texas has one of the coolest trailers I've ever seen with my eyes, which is the Conqueror, which Matt Cara bought. Oscar Mike Overland was there, who we support. J.M. Stevens Knives, Tread Lightly, Sport Keg, Highland Tactical, Kayak Together. I didn't get to go by there, but I think they have communication between people that are in kayaks where you can talk to each other. And,
stop shouting.
Yeah, stop shouting. American Survival Company, Whiskey and Wilderness. Those guys were really cool. They came over and got drinks all the time from the vendor, from the booth that we were at. And he does not like beer. He likes whiskey.
That's right.
Whiskey. Rock Squatch was not able to come. They had a family emergency, but if you do go to rocksquatchdesigns.com, he will give you 20% off. I don't know how long that goes, but he said he was giving show prices on the website. So make sure and go support them. Extreme Terrain, NAR, which is they have what do you call those things?
Hammocks.
Hammocks.
Hammocks. Yeah.
Go Explore USA.
Brad
Brazel is doing a super cool job over there. And then Tate with Overland Spices was right there when you walked in. And I hope he had a good time. The cooking competition was cool. And he even does one for the kids with a grilled cheese. And I love that. Being able to, and he even had some of the kids be judges, which I thought was really neat.
That's right.
So what was your overall experience with the Rendezvous this year? And do you plan on going back?
I don't know if I'm going to go back. Yeah, of course I'm going to go back. I had a great time. Getting out and camping and having quiet time is good, but getting everybody together, all my people, just like what you said, getting everybody together and visiting and catching up. It was just a great experience for me. I love the opportunity to get together and working in the booths, just talking to people that you don't normally get to talk to face to face. I love that. So
yeah. Well, and I'll be brutally honest.
Brutally?
Events are not my thing. Events are not my thing. In my normal everyday, I would say 9 to 5, but I don't work 9 to 5. I work 7 to 4. But in my normal everyday life, I deal with people. And the whole reason I got into overlanding was to get away from people. And normally at events, if you look at the music festival that they had up there 2 weeks before we got there, and see that those people were just packed right beside each other, and there was not an empty spot out there.
No,
there's no way I'd go to that. No way. Too many people. But
there was 3 or 4 times more people than what we had.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
But events are not my thing. But the cool thing about Rendezvous is they make it where it is my thing, because it feels more like an overlanding trip, a camping event, than it does an event. Yeah, I do like working in the booth with Aaron. I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing the people that I only get to see a couple times a year. But it's not like dealing with the public. These are our people. These are the people that have the same love that we do, and they love the gear, and they love the fellowship, and they love the camping. They love the whole experience. And so we have so much in common. So it's not like having to deal with the public like I do every day.
Yeah.
I love helping people, and Aaron's like family to me. I mean, I've stayed at his house multiple times.
Yeah.
So I go for him. I go to see the people I don't normally get to see. I go for the experience. But Rick and Randy and the guys have really been lenient, where they make this not like an event. They make it where it's almost like an overlanding trip, that little pods of people get together in one big giant location. And I love that.
Yeah.
And so it's different.
Randy said it last year, he wants it to be like a family reunion, and I feel like it really is,
I do too. I do too, because so many people come up and say, man, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever, and I look different now than the last time they saw me. They're like, man, you lost some weight, or blah, blah, blah. But it's good to see those people.
Yes.
It's good to see those people and, shake their hand, hug their neck, because you know that you'll get to spend this moment with them.
Yeah.
You'll get to spend this time with them. And Rick and Randy and the guys really make it like a homecoming, where, or a family reunion. And, I see these people all the time coming around my school that says, they have these shirts made that says Smith Family Reunion. I think that's weird, because we have family reunions, but we don't make shirts. Some people do. But it's almost like when somebody puts that Rendezvous shirt on, it's almost like you went to our family reunion
Yeah.
because that's where our people are.
Yeah.
And they make it like this is where I want to be. And of course, I'll go back every single year because this is the time when I see people that I don't normally get to see. I
Hmm.
get to spend time and learn from those that I follow on Instagram, social media. They have all these different things. They have the classes to go to, and so many different things to do. It's an overlanding event that has bonuses, and I love that.
Yep.
And I love that. Rick's on here. Thanks, bro. I think that's why we have several vendors who always return and attendees as well. Rick, man, we love you. You do a fantastic job, and we support you 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Rick. Sorry I didn't. It was kind of chaotic on Saturday. Sorry I didn't get back to you, but we need to get together and figure out how we're going to get this stuff to somebody from that attended the rendezvous. So maybe we can figure out a giveaway here on the show next week or something. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Rick says mutual. Man, we appreciate you. Really do. Now we get up Saturday morning, threats of bad weather that evening. It seems like it doesn't matter when Rendezvous plan. There's always going to be the storm that comes in. It's just one of those things. So the event was closing up at 4 for vendors. I decided to pack up a little bit early. It's so hard for me, especially having the trailer and the vehicle like you, the trailer and the vehicle. When everything gets soaking wet, to come home and just have to unpack it all over again and let it dry out. So I decided to pack everything up, decided to come home. I had to work at the church Sunday morning anyway. So slowly packed up. I said my goodbyes to all my friends. And that's the hardest part, really,
Yeah.
is saying the goodbyes. It
Yeah.
was, I went around and said bye to as many people as I could find and pulled out and not knowing when or if I might see them again. If you only see people a couple times a year, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know if that could be the last time that you shake their hand, hug their neck. So that's
Right.
special. That's a
Right.
special time. I was rolling out by 5. I dodged storms all weekend, and uh, I dodged storms all the way home. And about 20 minutes after I got unloaded, bottom fell out.
Yeah.
Now you went down and camped at Mulberry with
Camped
a few
on the
guys, but you
mulberry.
picked out a perfect spot to do it
Yeah,
to end
yeah,
your weekend.
we actually got a nice sheltered spot from the storm that blew in right as we were leaving down there by OARC. A lot of you guys listening probably know where this is at, but when 215 Highway 215 rolls into OARC, you can either turn left towards the OARC General Store, or you can turn right, and just right down there a little ways there's a bridge you can turn off. Well, we ended up camping under that bridge,
That's awesome.
and
Great
we
spot.
were sheltered from the storm, and it was a great spot. We were able to hang out outside the tents while it was storming, and it was great. Had a good time.
Jeff Felkin says, just hanging out at the hospital with a mother-in-law. She's doing much better, man. We've been praying for you, brother. Glad your mother-in-law is doing better. I appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in. I was
Yes.
depressed Monday at work, missing all my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the
I
same
hear
way
you.
it was for me yesterday. I was like, man, it's like a huge letdown coming back. And Rick, I know what you mean, not getting to spend time with everybody and visit with everyone because you have to work.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I said. I've never been to Rendezvous as a regular person. I've always worked it. So it's I know that can be hard, but we truly appreciate you and Randy, and we support you as always. Somebody trolling? I don't know if there's trolls.
We were bridge trolls.
Yeah, bridge troll. Great to see you this weekend. Phone for just a minute. Good to see you, Jeff. You and your wife came by and said hi, and I appreciate that coming by the booth. But
Yeah.
next year, I'm sure that they will have the dates coming up pretty soon. It's usually the second weekend in October. So mark that down tentatively. I don't know if that is when it will be. I know they'll have to close in that date with Mulberry Mountain. I'm pretty sure that we'll have it back at Mulberry Mountain. I did not hear one complaint this year like it did last year with all the mud and all that stuff and the side by sides and all that mess. Didn't hear one complaint this year. Everybody seemed to be pretty happy. Of course, when they came by our booth, they were happy because we were serving drinks to everybody.
Right.
But anyway, I don't have any information about who won the best booth and all that other stuff because we left out of there before then. But that's always a cool time. When they do the draft and the drawing and all that stuff. But it was really cool. Rick says they're working on the dates right now. So that's awesome.
Nice.
They usually plan ahead, do a good job, and we'll have them on the show. This season we're not going to do a lot of having people on and interviewing them, but we will have the Natural State guys on because I want to support them all they can.
They can come on and give us an update of everything that went on and all that kind of stuff.
Shoot, yeah. But I loved it, and I will definitely be going back as long as they keep having it because it's like, to me, it's a lot like a church. You have the building, but the building is only the place where you go. It's the people that make the difference.
Right.
And so that's kind of the way it is for me. I don't care where you have it, Rick, because when people show up, the people's what makes the difference. And you're one of those people. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Man, it's good to be back, Tony.
Yeah. I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Oh, that stinks. And you've been off longer than me. You've been off an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And I had to go back yesterday. But this weekend, I need everybody to say a prayer for me because this weekend I'm leaving Friday to go on my first backpacking trip in over 20 years. I was invited by some guys. There's going to be 4 guys. We're going to do 31 miles Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Sillamore section of the Ozark Highlands Trail. And with the colors, the fall colors that are out there right now, it's going to be popping. It's going to be beautiful. But I'm nervous. I don't want to be the weakest link. I'm nervous. I don't want to forget something and leave it because it's not like, overlanding where you can jump in the car and run down to the store and get whatever you need that you forgot. Well, we're going to park a car at the beginning and park a car at the end, and it's 31 miles in between. And once we start, there's no going back.
And this is something you're doing on purpose?
Yes, I love it. Yes. I am so excited.
I have got
everything spread out in my bedroom. I got my clothes, my food, my backpack. I got a jacket in that fits and a vest, and you got to carry all in my tent. I've got a 23-0 swag that I'm actually taking with me to sleep in. It's so cool. So cool.
23-0 swag.
Yeah.
You got to hike with this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the ones that they don't make anymore. And I was able to take the poles out of it and use trekking poles with it. And now the swag weighs just a little over 1 pound.
Okay.
So, pretty freaking pumped.
Well, so, the weather's going to be a lot nicer than it was last night when we were camping.
Absolutely perfect.
Yes.
So 70s in the day, 50s at night. We're actually traveling through a county that is not under a burn ban. So we actually get to have a fire at night.
Nice.
And so the only thing I'm worried about is water. I'm worried about us finding water and running out of water because I take dehydrated meals, which take water, and then I drink water. So it's the only thing I have to drink. So I'm kind of worried about water, but I'm going to carry in an abundance. My pack weighs about 36 pounds. And so I'm going to be carrying this on my back. I probably, when I get back to work on Monday, will not be able to walk. So we'll see. But y'all say a prayer for me. I'm real excited, and I cannot wait. So anyway, I'll talk about that next Tuesday when we come back, because next Tuesday, we're going to have our show again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it. Heck yeah.
It was good to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody who joined us tonight. We appreciate you being here, talking about something that we absolutely love, Rendezvous in the Ozarks 2022. Rick, Randy, we love you guys. We thank you for everything that you do for us. For everybody who joined in tonight, on behalf of Tony and myself, hope you have a wonderful week. We'll be back next week, right, Tony?
That's right. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel. And as for everyone else this week, hope you have a wonderful week. Look out for number 1. Don't step at number 2.
Join us next week.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Boom.
Professor and Friends 2022. Woo-woo. Thank you for watching.
To Professor Bats with Friends. Yeah.
Professor Bats and Friends.
The Professor Bats and Friends.
Professor Bats and Friends. Ka-chow.
Do I need butter?
Need some
Professor and Bats.